Very
Good.
cool.
Yeah, so good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm from
Yeah,
Pennsylvania, by the way.
Los
My,
Angeles.
my area, New York.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Levis is from Canada. Where in Canada, Levis?
Quebec, the French support.
Quebec. Parle français. Honey, Donald is posting the daily posts in the tribe that have excerpts from the Bible. And
I haven't seen
that,
those. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'll check those out.
Yeah, they're in there every day. AI assisted. AI is great. Just tell it what you want and it'll spit it out.
It's true. Makes
I
it a
mean, there
lot.
are times that I have to tell it something else is wrong, change something up or whatever, but eventually it gets to what I want and then I just post it.
Did you grow
nice.
up with a Bible?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've been a Christian since I was about 12 years old. I went to Bible college for a year. I graduated from a Christian high school, then went to Bible college, and then I knew I needed some structure, so I went in the military. I got my structure in the military for sure.
I'm a military child. My dad was in military his whole life. So I grew up pretty much as a soldier. Like in the morning, the first thing you do is FIESTA, which is like a lot of physical training, push-ups, running, things like
Yep.
that every
Yep.
single day. Yeah, he's been in
Yep.
military his whole life. He just retired recently.
Nice. Nice.
Well,
Levis here is an AI expert next level. He's developing his own Nova project, which is a conscious AI. We're very excited about this.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting
sounds
into the aspect of AI that people are nervous about.
Yeah, so his strategy is to make eco-friendly and not ego-driven, but more community-driven and conscious environment.
Okay.
Yeah, he can tell more about it, but it's an ongoing project. It's been a while since he started developing it, but it's very exciting, all of it.
I am excited, Levis, to see what's gonna unfold, what's unfolding.
Yeah, my thing with AI is like I haven't used any except I do this Duolingo app where I'm learning my Spanish for 900 and I'll tell you how many days it tells me. But yeah, I started learning Spanish 931 days straight.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
there is this AI that is like a friend that you talk with, and that has moved the needle for me the most because let's face it, it's easiest to learn a language if you are in the country and immersed in the country, and there's no other option.
Right.
And with Spanish, I traveled to Spain and to Mexico, but it's not the same when it's for shorter periods of time. So I started learning from Duolingo app because I got booked for this festival and I got excited. Oh, let me learn Spanish. So I tried different apps, right? And it's on and off, hit and miss. But then this one, when I got it, it really got me into it because of how structured it is, and it's easy laid back, and it doesn't make me feel retarded like the other apps. And then at some point, it dropped the AI in it, which is you speaking with a person, with like a AI person, and they're all different characters and have their own like flows and likes and things, and they remember what we've talked before, so we're having full-blown conversation each and every day, and that really has moved the needle for me with learning Spanish. So now I'm pretty comfortable, and when I speak with my Mexican friends, I know more how to express myself like even if I don't know a word, I can find a work around it to explain what I mean. And that's because, you know, I do it every day. And most of my Mexican friends live in the States, so they don't really speak Spanish as much as I do currently. So it's kind of funny to me and fascinating at the same time. So why I started talking about this is because yesterday I had a conversation in one of in the app with one of the AI people that I speak with, Lily, and I was talking with her about, you know, community things, like online community things, and she said, would you ever play games? And I'm like, yeah, we played Simon Says, and that's like this one that I
Yeah.
have here.
Yeah.
And she's like, there are so many games that you can take from real life into the online space if you are creative with those. So I was like, well, okay, give me examples. And she says, well, she gave me several. So after we finished the conversation, I wrote down some ideas, and I was like, well, maybe we can try them on the call in the tribe. So if you guys are down, I can
Yeah,
share.
I'm down.
So I wrote 4 things down, and I remember them, but I have them in my notes just in case I forget some of them. And so the first one is sing a little song in a foreign language. And I was like, oh my God, that's going to be really hard. But then I thought about it. And I know this um, French song that, you know, when I was first learning French, and you know, I was learning French because my dad slapped me in a French school with no choice. You know, military thing. He kind of tells you what's going to happen. He did the same thing with the Russian school. For my first school was Russian. He was sent in Russia, and he was like, "Do you want to study everything in Russian or in French?" And we're Bulgarians, so I was like, "Well, how about Bulgarian? Because we're Bulgarians." And he's like, "No, not an option. Russian or French?" And I was like, well, Russian, because we're in Russia. So he slapped me in a Russian school. So first grade, no
Wow.
knowing the language, get there. And then in high school, the same things happened with French. So anyway, sing a song in a different language. So it might be just like one-liner type of thing. And then number 2, jump on one leg for 30 seconds. I'm like, oh my God. And then she asked me, well, do you think 30 seconds is too much? And I'm like, no, not at all. It's kind of weird, but you know, a little physical jumping is not gonna hurt you. And then number 3 is make a funny face or tell a joke. I love that one. Hi James, how are you? And then number 4, draw something that is part imagination, part real animal. And that one we kind of came up together because she was like, draw something. And I'm like, well, it needs to be more specific. So we had a convo about this back and forth. So it was just kind of fun. So after I was done with my lesson yesterday, I went to my notes and I wrote them down. I thought, if you guys are down, we can do it. It could be fun.
Yeah, why
If
not?
not,
I'm curious, that whole conversation was in Spanish?
yeah.
That's so cool. Really?
Yeah, it really started moving the needle with me after the AI person, and well, many people now were implemented in the app, because before that it was more like, you know, kind of like the American way of making tests, where like you have multiple choices, so you kind of guess and exclude what you don't think it's right, and then fill in blanks type of thing, and you know, it was okay, and I was learning, but I had a problem talking with my Spanish speaking people, you know, to come up with what I want to say, because they would talk to me and I would understand everything, right? But then me coming up with like what I want to say, like it's right? So this solved it with, you know, having they're different. Like Lily is one of them. Then we have Eddie, and then we have Junior, and the other one is Lucy, and they're all like different people with their different vibes, coming in, and they all communicate with each other because they remember my convos from previous days, and they actually ask me, hey, what's going on in your community, your dogs. They remember my dogs names, all three dogs. Well, one of them, they always say it wrong for some reason. There's like a little glitch for Macarius. They remove the s for some part, and I've argued for like a month about this with them. It has an s, and I try to explain, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, it has an s, and then again, screw up the name. But majority of it is pretty spot on, and it's so cool just learning.
It's inspiring me to see, hey, how can I perfect maybe even languages that I know, but I want to perfect it, including English. It's not my first language. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing.
Of course. Yeah, it's hard to tell that English is not your first language. Like, I have an accent, but you don't. At least I don't hear it.
Well, I did grow up in New York, so I learned English when I was young, so I have kind of a New York accent, but I still have some things missing. Like I confuse like on it, at it, like all these connecting words, like what words go where. Sometimes I get like stuck on vocabulary words. I know my English is good enough. I can communicate regularly, but how I want to know English and my confidence, I might play with it and see if I can polish it. But thank you. Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how helpful this app would be with actually that level of, because you're pretty fluent and have absolutely no problem expressing yourself, you know? Like, you can't even tell that English is not your first language. Well, I'm curious to see. There is a free version of the app. You can get that and see where you're at.
Yeah.
Well, how is your Hebrew then? I mean, like,
Yeah. I would love to also perfect my Hebrew because I understand Hebrew a lot. I grew up with the books, talking about Donald, I grew up with the Hebrew Bible. So I grew up with those books. However, the speaking language Hebrew is a little different. And there are also the grammar of Hebrew is so confusing. It's like they have 7 ways of saying a verb. There's a lot of detail, and also everything is feminine or masculine. It's a very, on one hand, rich language. On the other hand, I would love to perfect that as well.
Is it as good as your English or not near?
My English is better.
Mhm.
I have the accent because I was born in Israel. So when I go there to visit and I start speaking Hebrew, they think I know Hebrew really well because I have the accent, but I mess it up pretty fast. I usually make like really funny mistakes and I laugh at my own mistakes.
Yeah. So do you have in Hebrew masculine and feminine, as in like this table is a female?
Even like table, is table a female word? Like, this is a little biblical as well because everything is energy and words are energy and the world is created with words according to the Bible. So yeah, there's a lot of emphasis in the books, in the scriptures, and in the Tanakh. I don't know if you're familiar. Tanakh is like the totality of the books. There are 5 books of Moses, and then there is, the story of the there's a lot of history, like the Jewish history set in story, like the story of Queen Esther, and like each of these is a different book. Like the whole together is called Tanakh, the whole collection of books. And they're all in Hebrew. So, yeah.
Yeah, I find this to be harder when a language has those feminine and masculine, like French has those and Spanish has those. Oftentimes, this is where I mess up. And like I talked with James about that, like somewhere in the comments in some of the communities. We talk all over the place, but yeah, this feminine and masculine in Spanish, it trips me over sometimes. You know, I say this table as in masculine and it's a female. Then it's funny for people that speak English.
Something that's really
Spanish.
interesting that's happening in the Spanish-speaking world, especially in Central and South America, is because of human rights and this more inclusion and acceptance and whatnot. People have started, especially in writing, not putting the gender. So then instead of todos or todas, they put an X. So it's just like it's non-gendered, and this is something that's happening maybe not so much in Spain. I'm not really sure, and but it is something that's interesting. I screw up the gender all the time, and I get my conjugations messed up quite a bit. But it's interesting, I jump in a taxi cab in Nicaragua, and the first thing is they think I'm Nicaraguan. And then after I'm talking for a little bit, they go like, well, no, you're not. You're Argentinian or Italian. It's usually the two that come up. Very seldom do they say, oh, you're an American. So that makes me feel good.
So
Yeah.
do you know Spanish, James? I guess.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm very fluent, actually.
That's pretty cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I've been speaking
Yeah.
Spanish pretty constantly since I moved to Nicaragua in '99. And then
99. Wow. Yeah, you said you had a wife that didn't speak English, right?
I had a wife and a girlfriend, not at the same time, but I did.
Ah,
Twice,
good to know.
twice I was in relationships, like long-term relations with people that didn't speak English, only spoke Spanish.
Wow, that can really teach you the language.
Yeah.
It teaches you the language,
Yeah.
and it teaches you how to listen and also not jump to conclusions about what somebody's saying. You know, I mean, it would be funny. We'd sometimes get in, especially with Leonore, but we'd get in this conflict, and she'd say, "You're not listening. You're not listening." I'm saying, "Look, dude, I understand all the words you're saying. I just don't get I don't get the intent of what you're saying. Like I can't quite, like, I know what you're saying, but anyway, because my Spanish is so good, people just think automatically that it's harder to listen. It's harder to hear it than it is to speak it, I think.
There's a biblical story. Can I share?
There's a lot of
Of
biblical
course.
stories, but I want to hear this one.
This one, it's early on in the Bible. It's before Abraham was even born. Abraham came right after that. Abraham is the first Jew, in case you don't know. So, so there were 10 generations from when, according to the Bible, the world was created until Noah and the ark. You know that story, right? Where the world was flooded. The story goes that the world was so corrupt that it couldn't sustain itself. Like humanity lost its form. So God invited humanity to repent, and Noah was the messenger, and he threatened, if they won't, the world will go, through a flood. And that's the story of the flood. So after the flood, Noah and his family were saved. That's the story. And there was a whole new generation. And after a while, after 10 generations, there's another corruption, which was more mental. The first one was more emotional, like behavior. The second one was more mental. People created this very tall tower and they decided they're gonna create a war against God. Like they wanted to reach the sky and find God and fight God, whatever they perceived God is or will be. So there were these, I don't know the count, but it's the story that I was told when I was a kid. I should probably check the source of how the story is told. And what God did in order to demolish this fight against God was God confused their language and they couldn't communicate. So that's when they turned into 70 languages according to the Bible. And people couldn't fight God because they couldn't work together. So that's, you know, I'm bringing it up here as a recognition of how beautiful it is when we can communicate and we can understand one another. And we do live in a time where, you know, we can use the power of understanding one another, not to fight God, but to align with our divinity, of course. But I am fascinated by the concept of languages, and because there is a humanity in all of us, and the moment we can break through the barrier of, like what you say, James, like what is your intention? We want to understand one another. And communication is a gift, isn't it?
Absolutely is a gift. And I love how in school, even if we don't agree on something, we're still respectful and understand the other's point of view. Like we had a convo about yoga versus martial arts versus soccer versus football, because like soccer is football and football is soccer and all that. With Jake here in the community, and it was just, we have so many different points of views, but yet it's always very respectful and understanding of the other person's point of view, you know? Which I cannot say about other platforms like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube even, you know, where some people were just like,
Yeah, the
wow.
comments are horrible. Yeah, I do hope it stays like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, as long as we have that intention, it will stay like that.
I agree.
And the
We
way it's set
Yeah.
up too is set up more like it's got more of a community feel to it than any of the other platforms.
and I
So
think also
you see the effects of your behavior right away. Like people are reflecting, or they're shutting you down, or whatever it is that's happening. So it's more like living in a community.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's the intention of Sam, like that. That's
Mhm.
it. I just watched him 8 years ago, and what a sweet person he is. Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
funny as hell.
I never see him funny, but he has quirkiness to him. Yeah. He's,
It's a dry sense of humor. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
hello, hello.
Yeah,
Good to
he's got a
see
very
you.
dry sense of humor, but I like him.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty dry. Yeah. Oh, are you warm?
Yeah.
No, can you not see I got a fucking jacket on?
Oh my goodness! What is this?
I had to bring this is my dad's dog. This is Harley,
Hi.
That's
spelled like Harlequin. She's like, she doesn't know what.
Not Harley Davidson.
Yeah, no,
Not
Harley
hard.
Quinn. Harlee. Harley.
mm,
She's so cute. She's your dog then as well.
pretty girl.
She likes me.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
She does.
At least you got
She's got her
someone that
hair
likes
cut,
you.
so
Hey?
she got her little bow on. Anyway, I just needed to show you guys Harley.
She's so
Charlie,
cute.
cutie.
You've seen her butthole, so now I figured want to see her face.
Yeah.
I want to
So
get a
it's
dog. It's
Well,
on
you
my
should.
yeah. It's coming forward. It's been in the back burner, but it's coming forward more.
What kind of dog?
Well, I want a non-shedding and so make some kind of poodle mix. I don't yeah.
Oh my God! Before you said that, I was thinking when you said not non-shedding, and I had like a few things going through my head. First of all, because like I seen you with your sneakers and jeans, okay? So you like to walk. So a small dog wouldn't per se cut it if you like to walk a lot. And I was thinking something mid-size. And when you said not shedding, I was like Labradoodle. They're like special, non-allergic, whatever. They don't shed. So that would be really good for you.
Yeah.
I
would
can
look
see you with
at
a labradoodle.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, listen. I've got to go. I'm sorry. I wanted to jump in and say hi and see all your lovely faces. And I'm sorry that I missed what you were talking about with the creativity at the beginning. It sounded fun, but I'll come back and watch the replay and hear that part because that looked like a fun thing to do. And
Yeah.
nos vemos pronto. Que tienes
Nos
un
vemos
buen día.
luego.
If you get a chance, join me just now. Have a good one, James.
I'm gonna pop in and say hi to you too.
It's always
That's
good to
all
see
good.
you, James.
Love you
Good to
guys.
see you. Take
Later.
care.
Cheers,
Love you.
cheers. Bye bye.
I can do this too.
Bye.
That's just what, there it goes. Ah.
Wow, you're a magician.
Bye.
Ciao.
Yeah, we were talking about like playing that game that the AI suggested with having the different like the different things, different components in it. I don't know. What do you think, honey? Should we like wait for like when we have more people or just go for it?
Go for it. I'm in. What about the rest? I see Tim is here. Am I pronouncing your name correct?
Tim?
The P is silent?
I pronounce it Tim, but
Tim.
I actually have not heard him pronounce his own name, so I might be super wrong with pronouncing it. And then, yeah, he's usually working on Fridays with having to use with hospitals and things like that when he pops in. And he can't. He usually like types in the chat something. Hold on, let me see. Actually, I don't really have the habit of looking at the chat when we're on. I'm going something. I'm half there. It's nice to meet you, all of you. My grandkids.
Yeah, in the chat.
That was
what?
Donald. Yeah, my grandkids are here. And then Tim, pterodactyl. Oh, like
pterodactyl.
That's
like pterodactyl.
That's what you were saying, because I saw somewhere he commented pterodactyl, and I think he was commenting for the art card that I was showing last week that looks like, or the week before, I don't know, my weeks are blending, that looks like an owl. And I saw that like briefly somewhere, pterodactyl, and I'm like, oh my God, does that look like a pterodactyl? But then he meant his name probably. Yeah, so you do pronounce the P.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wanted to share something with you guys. Like, I contemplate every day, have a meditation contemplation. How can I serve this community better? And it's just been so amazing. And yet, when I was on the trip to Idaho, it's hard to think, because it was Washington and Oregon and Idaho and Nevada and California, like a bunch of places passed through, and went to this one river. And it's because like I was a little frustrated. We were on the road and it was very long and very hot, and I don't know, I could complain until tomorrow. And then I noticed myself complaining, and then I couldn't get in the tribe because it didn't have coverage, like cell phone coverage. And then I started contemplating and thinking about the tribe, and something like negative popped in, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because it's my happy place, you know, one of the 3 happy places in my life. And I was like, what is this? And I started looking into it, and I started doing terrario meditation, like Honey teaches us. And I was thinking, who is me feeling what? So it was a drag. It was a little bit of a darkness, a drag that I was feeling. And I was like, okay, I need to get to my inner children and get them to play, and they will spill the beans. So there is this river, and we're in the mountains, and it's called Walker River. And I remember the name because like I saw the sign, and I wanted to remember the name because this place is pretty memorable for me. So I didn't have bathing suit. I just took off my dress and went in butt naked, skinny dipping, and the water was beautiful. It felt like God. It felt amazing, and I stayed there for a very, very long time. You know, it's a mermaid thing. And I was thinking, here is the feeling that it's not a guilt, but it's something that I don't do enough, and not in a negative way, but like I have so much to give to the world, and just have dipped my toes,
Mm.
really, with this community, you know. And it's my mission to make it more valuable to people, and everyone that's in it has a lot of fun. However, it could be more valuable since I know what I've got. And,
Yeah.
you know, I have thought in the past a lot of things that I've brought to the table to others, and have created a lot of success for others. And a lot of the things were behind a paywall. And, you know, now I'm thinking all of that, since it's over and it does no longer align with me, I will be bringing a lot more information into the community that can be helpful. And it will not be necessarily like school related, because school is a platform, it's a great platform, and we love it. And it's amazing for the moment, it's the best. However, it there is a bigger picture of, in terms of how you look at things. It doesn't have to be this or that platform. It's a way of thinking and alignment. And I believe that there's a lot of information and discussions we can bring into the light that will be helpful for a lot of people. That's one of the things I was thinking. And then the other thing I was thinking is that it would be beneficial to bring in more of like practical things in terms of group meditations, group sound healing sessions, and, you know, together. It's different when you drop a video. Like, I have a shit ton of videos of yoga classes and meditations and all that. It's not the same as you doing it together at the same time, where you go in and you do the thing, right? Because a video you can pause, you can do later, postpone it. I'll do it later type of thing never happens. Sometimes it happens. But yeah, the yoga, sound healing, and then the other thing, ecstatic dance, where, you know, some people go to ecstatic dance to, you know, exercise and lose weight or whatever, be fit. But some go to dance childlike, like no one's watching, and free themselves from really anything before and after, and just being in a moment. The power of dance. And yoga classes. It, like, we were having a discussion with Jake earlier. He's like, yoga is so laid back. Well, there are classes and classes. So you can have a restorative class, which is just mostly stretching and being in the moment, present. There's 8 limbs of yoga, and physical aspect is just one limb. There's so much more. And then there's also the superpower classes that are, they will kick your butt. I don't care who you are and how much you work out, it will kick your butt. It depends on the class. So you could also have a combo, which like I love the combo, stretch and straighten at the same time, where like, you have periods to where like it's slower paced and more relaxed, and then you have periods where it's like a really, really harder type of work, but it's all relative, of course. So anyways, and I thought that would be good too for the tribe, like all of this. And when we do events in person, we have these elements, all of it, and it's amazing, and not necessarily very structured, like when there's like a festival or festival stage we have, and then we'll have a yoga class at 10, and then everybody gathers at 10, and then 11 meditation, and then the next day sound healing, and then ecstatic dance in the evening. So it's kind of like sprinkled all over. So I was thinking, what if we bring this here in the community and just do it together? That would be also very valuable, I believe. What do you guys think?
I
My
try
vote
not to
is,
think.
yeah.
Huh?
That's it. I try not to think too much. But what I would definitely say is yes, I believe in this thing of doing things together. It comes around with our discussion just we had yesterday, even as well, where you said to me, and you said something to me that sounds so obvious, but I mean it's obvious, but find more clients. I mean, show them how to find more clients. Yes, I mean I can tell you anything, but if you come, if you can get people together and discuss these things or do these things together, there's a commitment. There's a commitment to be there. Which says, you know what, I better get there because we're all going to do this morning, and I want to be part of this. Whereas if you do it on your own, it's exactly like you say, I'll do it tomorrow, because I don't really feel like it today. But yeah, that's my feelings there. Yeah, so I agree with doing things together and organizing group activities. Call it like that.
Yeah.
I am very excited about that, Ro. I am super excited to be able
Thank
to
you.
do these things together with you. I'm already imagining it. Like, I don't know how you're thinking, for example, yoga, but in my imagination, what I saw was that you don't even prepare. You see who's there in the room and you guide whoever is in the room. I'm not like telling you what to do. It's just the imagination that came to me when you were saying, oh, some people think it's laid back. Some people, there are so many ways of doing yoga. And I know you. So that's kind of like the imagination that came to my mind. And it seems like you really know yoga, like really well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been teaching for many years, and even got certifications to become a yoga teacher many, many years ago, and not with an intention that I will be ever teaching. I just wanted to learn more, that's all.
Yeah.
And then when I got my certifications, the teachers were like, well, have you thought about teaching actually? Because you have a teacher certification. And I'm like, not really. I actually did that because I wanted to learn more, and I was interested in knowing more from this specific place. Because I was taught traditional yoga, and it's very different than what we have in California here, for example. It's such a fucking disappointment. Excuse my French. It's really bad here. Like, it's mostly working out mentality and not like nothing else. And then I don't vibe with the music. I'm a music snob. In terms of like, okay, you can't have a hip hop song while you're trying to get zen. You know what I mean? It's just the
Great.
two things. And one of those things. Yeah, I don't want to sound judgmental or anything, but it's kind of disappointing. disappointing to be in California and try to find a yoga studio, because like I also like to be the student, not just to teach and do it by myself. It's different when you're like told what to do exactly. But yeah, honey, you're spot on, because I flow state all my life, like everything, and including every single class that I have taught and everything I'm doing with all my businesses, all my clients. And for a yoga class, it's always like you have to keep in mind what can potentially be difficult for anyone, really, and also what potentially can hurt someone. And I'll give a tangible example here so it doesn't sound so esoteric. Like, for example, locking the joints. You always want to stay shy of lock to where you're not putting a lot of pressure on the joints so they don't wear out. Yeah, things like that, where it's common sense to me because I know those things, but it's not common practice, especially if you are in a hurry to do something, to slam yourself into a pose versus sneaking. Even the wording, like I'm a fan of the wording that will lead you to do something in a very intentional way. Like, for example, and now get into this pose versus, and now gently bring yourself into this position. And there is a difference, slamming yourself in versus sneaking in and then sneaking out, mindful with control. So yeah, things like that. That's kind of important. I did have a yoga membership on Kajabi, and I'll tell you why I didn't like it. First, I'll tell you why I did it. I did it because, like, I love yoga, and it wasn't for money or for anything like that. It was for me to be consistent with my own practice and help people. I'm doing it anyway, so might as well. So yeah, I did that for a very long time, actually. Online, I mean, I've taught in person in a yacht club, like a private, it's tennis yacht club. It's called St. Petersburg Yacht Club, in St. Petersburg in Florida. And then I did gym also for 5 years, both of the places for 5 years. It was for me, it was for fun, not for the money, of course, because like I had one class in the gym per week, and it was more like core. So it was what was the name of the actual? It has a fancy. Man, I don't remember. It had a very fancy name, but it was mostly concentrated on the core. That was the gym class once a week, and then I had twice a week in the club. On the water, very beautiful location, and that was more like what I wanted to do, where it's stretch and strengthen at the same time, and it's not like just focused on core that much. So because the other one was pretty intense, and I like to switch up things. So anyway, this was, yeah, oh my gosh, that was like very back in the day, and then I did that online. Well, the gym closed, and then I moved, so the yacht club thing also stopped. But I did a membership online on Kajabi, which is a platform for hosting courses and memberships, and they have a community a little bit, but it sucks. It's nothing like school. So that's what bugged me there. It felt like at first it was fine because I was teaching a class and I was doing my own practice and I was helping people. Yeah. But then I noticed that like I wasn't really connected with the people, and most of them had their cameras off. So I wasn't really helpful. What if they're doing something wrong and I don't see it? Like some pose and some weird way. Like, for example, if you do warrior one, like, which is with bent leg, and then you don't want the knee to extend further than your foot, because it might hurt your knee on a long term, not immediately, or it might immediately if you're overweight. So something like that, I would tell the person, move a little bit back with your knee and move the foot forward. But if I don't see them and their fucking camera is off, then there is no way for me to see that they're doing it wrong, and they don't know that. So I started to think how like this is sort of pointless and sort of a drag for me, because I was also touring as a musician, and it doesn't matter where I was, what country, that class was happening. It was very consistent. And sometimes I would be in France and it would be 1 a.m. and I would still be doing the class because it's a certain time every week. It was actually twice a week. So anyway, it started feeling like a drag, and I was like, I'm just gonna archive that, and made the decision, because if something doesn't light me up, I just don't do it. So it stopped, and I just stopped it. And then now I'm thinking, well, what if this happens with this? And then I'm like, well, nothing is set in stone. Fuck around and find out. So maybe we'll drop a class without like a certain day or whatever each week, or maybe once, and see how that is, and maybe another one and see how that is. And if people like it and it's valuable, then we'll do it. If not, it doesn't have to be like black or white. What do you guys think?
Yeah, 100%. I'm totally with you, Ro. I really resonate with the flow approach of your energy, and I think that's what's gravitating your tribe, like your vibe attracts your tribe, and I think the same will happen with your offer. It's going to continue to be you. And yeah, I am totally excited to be part of that, and I think it can be super fun, and like a meal that's nutritious and delicious, so there is the nutrition, like everything you offer is, like you say, value, so it has the value in it, and that's maybe what you were feeling into in Idaho or in that lake or before the lake, that you want to offer more nutrition in your community, like more real value. And I think this might be the ripe time for you to say, hey, this was the how do you say, like the course before the main meal. These were the appetizers. This was the appetizer, and now we're going to serve the main meal, and and I think
Yeah.
a lot of us are going to want that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it will be good to, and I don't know if per se I want to do like an offer with this for a prize, but I do want to bring it into the community. And if people like it and we want to do something regular, maybe even hire other tribers to participate as teaching and doing their own take. Like, we have so many amazing individuals here, and I feel like it would be good to, if or when it develops, yeah, something to think about. Also, I dropped a DJ set with psytrance, and I asked, hey, would you dance on that? Because like there's a lot of people that never really heard of, like Tim here, he makes 6 psytrance. Like, his tracks are amazing, and he just doesn't just do that. He is multi-genre musician and producer. So some people have never heard of psytrance, but like we're still saying, yeah, I would dance. So think about something like that for an hour. You sit and dance. I mean, not, you don't sit. Or maybe you can sit and dance in your chair. But yes, for the ecstatic dance part, and then the healing, the sound healing, that would be more like lay down and relax and just absorb the sound. So it will be with like a surround mic, with like a stereo mic, where they would pick up really good sound. And I found a workaround at school. We'll test it later again, but there is a way to do that. And one note on that that you might find interesting is that when I had the freedom to do and design my own classes, and when I say that, I mean when I was teaching in the gym, I didn't really have the freedom. It was like, I don't know, you're gonna teach this,
Yeah,
and
guidelines.
it's gonna be core, and I mean, you still have like wiggle space, but not that much freedom. But when I was teaching in the yacht club, and then later on online, and then I had a few classes that I was teaching per week on the beach that were my own, just like, getting my own people from social media and just get it together for fun. And so when I was doing that, I had four major components into the classes. So like when you start, you start off of your mat, but like the very first thing is set an intention. And throughout the class, it's constantly, reminded about the breath and going all the way down to the belly. Oh, hi, Janne. Just saw you. How are you? Good to see you.
Hey, hey, good to see you too.
Cool. Yeah, so like it was the breath and intention, and then sound incorporated with meditation towards the end, and of course the physical aspect. So like all of the things were part. Yeah, I was just talking with Honey here about some yoga classes. Where are you?
Me and you talk about Jan here, right?
Oh, yeah, where are you?
Um, at the place, the lake,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, just finishing the day basically.
Is that the place where you guys are building the yoga studio?
Yes, we are basically in a interesting moment right now as we kind of talk with. In Germany, you have like communes, right? Like the governments of the town, of the regions, and stuff like that. And we gave them a 10-year renting proposal, basically, or like a 10-year plan of developing a yoga center, sauna, hot tub, thinking cabins at the lake, and stuff like that. And basically, if they say yes, we're going to start basically right away with building, getting rid with old buildings and stuff like that. And if they say no, we may leave and do it in another place that
Right,
we
nothing
just
is
got.
set in stone.
No.
What's on the property currently? Like, what would you have there?
Basically, it's a swimming place. So the main thing is like a swimming place, like a kiosk, like a cafe kind of thing where you can sit down, sitting area, a cat. Say hello.
Hi, Ari. How are you?
She's living her life. She was chasing a mouse through my tent last night.
For fun.
He's such a
Totally
pretty
fun.
cat. So
There's
beautiful,
like
very
she's
photogenic.
she's awesome. So it's basically like two buildings are ready to get just put it into ashes. Two big buildings because it's just like full of chemicals, and like the way that they build it is just horrible. And then it's like, mini golf. There's like mini golf, which we also want to get whipped with. And yeah, basically just building new is the plan, this entire thing, because the pool for children can't be used as they haven't invested money for many years. The people are not happy because they haven't invested money for many years. So actually, it's a no-brainer because they lose 50 to 80,000 just with this place every single year, like in the entire people, like the commune itself loses like 200 grand a year, like that they make minus. And we just want to get done with it, but they're just holding on and controlling. But it might goes into a legal affair as well, which is very interesting to observe because they're just like motherfuckers not fulfilling their contracts, but expecting things to happen. But it's very interesting. I have a friend next to here, Uli. He's like 78, like a very rich man, and he just tells us all the stories about this place. It's just so great.
That's
Lots
so
of
nice to
interesting.
have
Yeah. So like I'm just in heaven right now, just with my entire situation. And the things that I'm learning as I kind of see myself not in the politics, but like cleaning up this planet heavily. And I'm just seeing and looking behind the scenes right now, whilst being able to bring in ideas and perspectives that are valued and stuff like that. So it's just like an overall, it's a great experience. It's very interesting. And what we want to build here, we want to build in different places in Germany, but also globally is the plan. And it's kind of like a beginning of it. If it will be with him and me, this is one thing, but it just gives me lots of knowledge that I need for future.
Of
Yeah.
course.
There's a name
Yeah,
that
you're gonna
comes
learn
to
a lot.
mind.
Sorry.
There's a name that comes to mind that I once watched. He talks a lot about and helps with like cleaning up the soil and teaching how to farm without chemicals. Um, I don't know if that's up your alley, but I can share the name that I have in mind. I don't know if you heard of. Um,
Always happy to hear some new information.
um, his name is Zach Bush. Have you heard of
I
Zach?
hear of him. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
giving some interesting information or great information here. I haven't watched too many of his things, but yeah.
Yeah, I once met him at an event. Pretty cool person. Like
Hmm.
I didn't study his stuff to say if like it's the real deal or not, but he sounds to be a very big activist around that and bringing awareness and actually helping farmers learn how to farm without all the pesticides and all the garbage. So I think that's
I love
valuable.
that.
This is another thing actually. Like this is another thing because the lake gets the shit that the farmers put into the soil
It's
down,
crazy.
and this is the reason. This is the reason why they have to lock the lake basically for swimmers, so they can't go swim. It's not
Wow.
allowed to swim right now because of certain algae that's that's building through the enrichment of the soil and stuff like that, but
Mm.
just way too much. It's like, humans basically going into territory. And I've just like, I don't know if you can see it. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 swans
Oh
just
wow.
here. I try to go closer. One actually killed the other.
Oh.
Right here on this place. It's just very interesting. So lots of wild animals here.
Uh-huh.
And we want to build saunas just here at the lake and
Mhm.
yeah, utilize the plateau basically where you can walk here to maybe put some
I see them.
tiny,
Yeah.
yeah, they're wonderful. Very interesting.
Mm.
But very rude as well, right? Like they chase one another sometimes or kill each other. It's
Ah,
very interesting to observe. Yeah,
Wow.
so what happens with the dead body?
we took it away back to nature.
Mm.
But yeah, it was interesting. So lots of stuff happening here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting how things started unfolding for you after you visited the pyramids in Egypt.
It's about time. Like, yeah, I hear it many times before, like the number 27. And it's like, for me, it's like a year of completion as well, somehow. I kind of like 7 years that I do the work that I do, or that I changed the way that I behave consciously.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Seven is
yeah, many different things.
the sacred geometry number of development. So we develop first 7 years of life, second 7 years of life, third. There's a very
I'm
beautiful,
27 now, so I'm in the fourth cycle actually of 7,
yeah,
which is interesting. So
yeah.
completion.
You're
Mm,
completing that part. Yeah.
mm, yeah, it's just great. I like it. Yeah. And I asked for
Yeah.
it, right? I was sitting at home in the last year or
Yeah.
so, and I just wanted to live at a place with water. I wanted to have a lake and a little river, and I'm sleeping next to the river, looking at the lake and the sunrise.
So
Waking
beautiful.
up 45 minutes from where I live. Um, yeah, it's when we allow and let go and trust, like the trust part is big, very big.
Yeah.
And letting go of all the noise and opinions of others and of the society and stuff like that. Like
Wow.
this opportunity,
Yeah.
like opportunities, we can see them, we can hear them, we can follow them. And if we trust and keep going and give a fuck about what other people say, like it's all here, like always, like this,
Yeah.
right? All that's necessary is here. Mm.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. It's so nice to see you, and it's like it's really nice,
Mm.
good light energy. It's
Yeah, it's
exciting.
nice. It's nice to breathe. Yes, so funny. Yeah, good to be here too. It's a good energy in the house. And
Yeah.
I would like to go to a psytrance party.
What, what
Well,
time? I'm
Well,
right.
you might. We might bring one in the tribe soon.
nice one. Yeah, there is one festival that I go to. It's just psytrance. Um, maybe some like Indian Spirit Festival in
Oh,
in Germany. Don't know if you heard it. Yeah, it's great. End of
what?
August, last August weekend. I'm working there too, doing like workshops, and I still have to send the details of the workshops. I forgot it, but anyway, yeah,
Sounds
I
good
amazing. I
want.
stuff.
actually didn't think that psytrance is kind of big in Germany, but like,
Oh,
why not?
huge! Like, what
Wow.
means huge? But you have Ozora in Europe, right? You have Boom
Yeah.
Festival in Europe. Germany is like techno a lot, and lots of people are in hard tech or hard style or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But psytrance, there is a scene for sure.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
There is a scene,
I mean
yeah.
here.
But it's more like progressive. It's more like progressive trance, though. What the
Hmm.
German producers or DJs mixes more
Hmm.
proggy. And then we have some Israelis coming to Germany. Lots of them actually play in Germany on festivals.
Well, Germany
Asterix.
is Germany.
I have some things waiting for
Asterix,
me,
Alpha
Ro.
Paul, so great.
Huh?
I have some things waiting for me, so I'm gonna go.
All right.
I also want to
Me
mention
too.
that you have some messages unread. If you, we, I think I'm gonna request for them that we should have a way to see when their new messages come in on the chat.
Mhm.
When we run these calls, we don't see when people add
Yeah,
new.
and I never look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that Tim can't speak, so yeah.
Psytrance is my jam. Yes.
Nice one.
Oh my God, the Nyosa Flow tertiary certification. There you go. And then Levis is gonna go to a rave. Of course, Levis, I have plans for you, boy. All right, thank you so much for coming to the tribe call. I appreciate you so much. I love
I
you
love
very
you.
much.
We love you.
Love you. Love you
Have a
too.
Love you
beautiful
all.
week.
See you later. Blah blah.
Love you all as well.
Bye bye.
So good to see you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.